How do you make things like this coin simply vanish into thin air? This trick is fantastic because it's easy to learn. There's no gimmicks, so you can just do it anywhere. And it's sure to fool everyone. So the general idea is that you're trying to convince everyone that you're stealing this object and moving it to this other hand, when in reality, it never left your hand. And all you're doing is you're dropping this coin into the hand so that when the other one comes to steal it, there's nothing there to grab. And then to complete the trick, you can make the coin seemingly appear out of thin air. And people are just gonna be like,
"You're a wizard, Harry."
I'm a what?
Now, that sounds pretty easy, but it's how you do it that really sells the trick. So let's go into some more detail. Before you even start, you can do things like flicking the coin or pulling back your sleeves to show that there's no tricks and that what you're doing is in fact real magic. But it's not. That's so stupid. When you're starting, you want to hold the coin in your fingertips so that it looks something like this. So that when you remove your thumb, the coin falls back into your hand. When you're releasing the coin, you can do it with your hand facing straight up, so the coin drops straight down. But what I like to do is have the coin at a bit of an angle, so that people can clearly see the coin up until the very end, which makes it more convincing. But now the question is, when do you drop the coin? Because you don't want people to see you drop the coin, but you don't want it to look suspicious. If you were to grab this coin normally, the thumb on your stealing hand would go under the thumb on your holding hand, so kind of like this. When I was learning this trick, I used this as a bit of a guide, because when your two thumbs cross each other, you know that the stealing hand is covering the whole of the coin. And that's when you know it's safe to drop. And you want this stealing action to look and feel as natural as possible. So to practice, go rub it back. Or you could just grab a mirror to see what it looks like when you actually grab something out of your finger. And then just try and copy that until it looks as natural as possible. So you've dropped the coin in your hand and you've pretended to steal it. Now you really have to sell the trick. Let's start with the hand that still has the coin. Now again, it's really useful to have a mirror to see what happens when you actually grab a coin. The first thing you're going to notice is that your hand just kind of stays there in plain sight. And why would you want to bring it down and move it out of sight? It's not like you're hiding anything in there. But you are. And the second thing you'll notice is that your hand just kind of stays open. And why would it close? It's not like you're trying to grab the object that you've sneakily just dropped into your hand. Now there is a way the magicians use to hold something in their hands while their hand's still open so that it looks like there's nothing there. And that is called palming. Now you can palm in the palm of your hand, and to do this, you squeeze the object between the squishy bit on your thumb and on your middle finger. So you just squeeze a bit, it grabs it, and now you can keep your hands open, but the coin doesn't fall out. The second way you can do this is you can palm with your fingers here. So if you gently fold the edge of your fingers, you're holding the coin while your hand is still open. And you're probably thinking that is never going to work. That doesn't look natural at all. Well, you want to know a secret? I've been palming this whole time. That's right. Mind blown. And now, even though you have the object in your hand, you have an open hand and you can move around, use to point to the other hand, all sorts of stuff just to really convince the other people that there's nothing there. Now, depending on the shape of the object, it might be harder to palm in. So just keep your hand in that neutral position. And when everyone's focusing on the other hand, you can discreetly remove the hand and dispose of all the evidence. But now for the other hand. What should you do with that? First, you should hit that like button. But for real, like for the other steps, it helps to have your mirror so that you know what it looks like when you actually take a coin and you can replicate that. Remember, you're trying to make them believe that you've taken this coin and it's in your hand. So don't crunch it up. You want to leave some space in your hand for the imaginary object. And now your job is to make this hand the center of everyone's attention, so that if you need to, while everyone's focusing on this hand, you can discreetly remove the other hand with the object. And so to do this, make sure that when you're grabbing the coin, you're moving the hand up and center in everyone's faces. And you can also move your fingers around or move your hand around so that everyone really focuses on this point. They're really trying to figure out what you're doing. And then you can do some theatrical reveal or blow into your hand to reveal that the coin is no longer there. And the people will lose their mind. So you can end the trick there, but a good final touch is to make the coin reappear seemingly out of thin air. And so all you're doing is trying to create a distraction that will cover the fact that you're moving the coin from your hand back into your fingertips. So classic ones are, oh, look at this, it's behind your ear. Or you can move your hand with the coin fast behind the other hand. And then while it's moving quickly, just push it up and then the coin reappears. So for the reveal, there aren't really any rules. So be creative, have some fun with it, and just try things to see if they work. Anyways, that's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe so you can see more, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!